IDF shells Lebanon after 2 rockets fired at northern Israel. 1 rocket shot down, second hits open area, no damage or injuries reported, Palestinian group believed behind attack, which comes after reported Israeli strike in North Syria. 2 rockets were fired at northern Israel from Lebanon early Tuesday morning, setting off warning sirens in the western Galilee region, the Israel Defense Forces said. The army fired artillery shells at the source of the launches in response. One of the rockets was intercepted by Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system, while the second projectile fell in an open area near the coast, the IDF said. There were no reports of injuries or damage, and the army said there were currently no special instructions for residents of the region. Defense Minister Benny Gantz said Tuesday that Lebanon was responsible for the overnight rocket attack since it allows militaries to operate within its territory. Israel will act against any threat to its sovereignty and its citizens, and will respond in accordance to its interests, at the relevant time and place, Gantz said, adding that Israel will not allow the social, political and economic crisis in Lebanon to turn into a security threat to Israel. The attack came some 4 hours after Syrian state media said Israeli aircraft launched a number of missiles at targets near the Syrian city of Aleppo and following clashes on the Temple Mount between Israel police and Muslim protesters on the Muslim holiday of Eid al-Adha. The Israeli military believes the rockets were fired by a Palestinian group in southern Lebanon, not by the country's powerful Hezbollah group. However, Hezbollah maintains tight control over southern Lebanon, making it unlikely that such an attack would be conducted from this area without at least its tacit approval. In response, the army said it had fired artillery shells at the source of the rocket fire, in Lebanon's Wadi Hamul region. This was also the area from which rockets were fired at Israel by Palestine in May. There are several Palestinian groups operating in southern Lebanon, along with Hezbollah, which is backed by Tehran and closely allied with Syria's Assad regime. Israel has frequently hit Hezbollah targets and fighters in Syria in an effort to keep the militia from opening a second front against Israel there. Around midnight Monday, the official Sanaa news agency said that Syrian air defenses repelled the strikes near the town of al-Safira, southeast of Aleppo. Syrian war analysts generally dismiss the military's regular claims of interceptions as false, empty boasts. Syria rarely retaliates directly for Israeli strikes, but has in the past accidentally fired anti-aircraft missiles into Israel while trying to shoot down Israeli jets and missiles. Syrian media outlets also reported that Aleppo's military airport was struck in the attack.